Because even in this election, I've noticed, when I was growing up in Derry City, there was only two, like I come from the nationalist community, so there was only two parties you could vote for. You voted for Sinn Féin or you voted for the SDLP. You didn't vote for anyone else. I didn't even think a lot of any other parties stood in near where my estate does. And you said earlier, Gavin, that you felt a bit politically homeless, at the minute about, the direction the Conservative Party and stuff's going in. I just want to come back to you on this, Linda. In the last election, you're quite, and as we keep, I think a lot of the time we talk about unionism as this monolith, as if they all believe the same thing and all of this. So your story is quite different, and it's really inspiring in terms of the Irish language and the GAA and everything you've brought to East Belfast. Have you struggled with the kind of political identity? You said you're British and Irish. Do you feel like there is a home for you in Northern Ireland in terms of politics? Are you still kind of torn?
No, I am. I suppose my own background, my family are communists on my father's side, and on my mother's side, well, my grandmother was a Catholic who converted to Presbyterianism. So there's always been that mixture in my background. And even as a child, at a very young age, because the troubles came when I was 7, you very quickly learn that your family's politics were not viewed sympathetically, and there was always a certain amount of danger around. At 11, I went to live in Twimbrook because that's where my father was living at the time. And again, that was the first time I felt sort of, people were using sectarianism against me as a Protestant. So there was always that sort of tornness, but also I recognised then that there was two narratives. There was the Boyne and the bands and the bonfires that I had grown up with, but there was also this other side. And as an adult, I found that very, very difficult, but it works really well for me now in my job. But I think the thing, coming back to what I'd said earlier, that I really, really resent is that because I am from the Unionist community, because I am a Protestant, then, I listen to people like Jim Allister, Jamie Bryson, Jeffrey Donaldson, and they're telling me what I think, what my politics are, what my opinion is, how I should vote, what box I should sit in, and I just say, no, that's not where I belong. And also, more importantly, it's not where a lot of people from the Protestant community that I know, they don't feel that either, and that's why things like the Alliance Party, they're getting a massive increase, because people are rejecting the story of the DUP. And, at the minute, people are listening to Doug Beattie and saying, yeah, I like a wee bit of that. I want something that's a bit more middle of the road. I'm tired of this never, no negativity. Don't want it. We're not buying into it.
Mm-hmm. And Gavin, do you think within the British establishment, was there, it very much appeared to us, I don't want to talk for everybody, but it very much appeared for us during Brexit, it appeared to Irish people that, I think it was once commented, we seem to know a lot about yous, but yous don't really seem to know a lot about us. And do you feel there was very much a learning curve when you were in, Theresa May's government? It's not as easy as green and orange in the north anymore, that there are, the new Northern Irish people who are, I call in-betweeners, who are both British and Irish. Do you think there was a kind of lack of understanding about that as well?
Yeah, I think, I said in my remarks, I think the issues which came to be right at the heart of the Brexit argument weren't really talked about by many people at all in the referendum campaign. I think once you'd got through the referendum campaign, there was a very rapid but steep learning curve. So, I think I'd probably been in the job for 2 or 3 weeks, by which point I understood exactly that this issue and how to address it was going to be the make or break of whatever deal that Theresa came up with. In terms of wider Northern Irish politics, I think it's very variable. Within my own part, one of the things that's happened over the last 10, 15 years is the Conservative Party collectively has become less unionist. So there are still lots of people in the Conservative Party who are very passionate unionists, and Theresa was obviously one of them. But there are others who were very happy to prioritise the kind of Brexit they wanted over what might have been a better outcome for the union, essentially. And I think across all parties, you would, in one sense, Ireland not very different to France or Germany, that you would get some MPs who are quite internationalist in mindset, understand the politics of neighbouring countries, are interested in them, have relations with parliamentary colleagues in different countries, and others who are a little bit less knowledgeable. I would say it's very variable.